From Paula Cassidy sacrificing herself for the sake of others, to Ned dying to protect innocent civilians from a bomb threat, these are some of the most tragic deaths in NCIS. Starting off with the one who literally sacrificed herself. You know, Paula Cassidy faced a really tough choice. She had this important role as agent afloat on the USS Kennedy, but after the devastating loss of Caitlin Todd, decided to join the NCIS team. It was a big change for her, leaving behind her old life on the ship. Now, here's the thing. Todd and Anthony DiNozzo had this incredible sibling-like bond. It was really special. But Cassidy and DiNozzo had a different kind of connection going on. They were actually in a romantic relationship. But you won't believe it, circumstances always seem to conspire against them. DiNozzo never really got the chance to express his true feelings for Cassidy until the sad day of her burial. Can you imagine? It's like their love was always just out of reach. But let me tell you, Cassidy was one remarkable woman. She had this amazing determination, even in the face of so many hardships and regrets. Losing two of her team members really haunted her, you know? But she didn't let it break her. Nope. And even then, life wasn't done throwing curveballs at her. Tragedy struck again when a twisted suicide bomber threatened the lives of her colleagues. And you know what Cassidy did? In a display of selflessness that took everyone's breath away, she made the ultimate sacrifice. She gave up her own life to protect and keep those around her safe. And just like her, there was another that we couldn't get over. You know, just like the rest of the NCIS agents on that list. Old director Tom Morrow didn't meet his end from natural causes either. Nope, he went down in the line of duty, showing everyone just how committed he was to getting justice, even if it meant sacrificing himself. Even though he'd retire by season 3, that man couldn't let go of his obsession. It was a real heartbreaker, I tell you. Morrow got caught up in this intense operation, helping NCIS track down a slippery MI6 agent who had turned into a prisoner on the loose. But things took a tragic turn when he got shot right in the middle of it all. Now, we didn't see the exact moment he got killed on screen, but man, it was tough watching Gibbs and Fornell realize Morrow was in danger, only to find him dead in his own home. Gut-wrenching, really. Losing Tom Morrow hit the whole NCIS family hard. I mean, he was a mentor, a friend, and someone they all looked up to. And his sheer determination to bring justice will always be remembered. Although, while we're on the subject of legendary characters, how can we not talk about Jennifer Shepard? She made history as the first woman to become NCIS director, as she took over after director Thomas Morrow left following Caitlin Todd's tragic death. Jenny's hard work, dedication, and no-nonsense approach made the NCIS team even stronger. But things took a turn when she went to the funeral of NCIS Special Agent William Decker in Los Angeles. It hit her that Decker's death wasn't just a natural thing as they thought, and she figured it was probably murder. Determined to find out the truth, she got in touch with Mike Franks, and they headed to a desert diner in the Mojave, hoping to catch Decker's killer. But things went south. There was a big shootout at the diner, and Jenny didn't make it. She died right there. Her death hit Gibbs extra hard because they had a romantic history together. But hers wasn't the death that hurt him. After all, Diane Sterling's death was arguably even more painful. So Gibbs has carried the weight of a haunting tragedy for years, the loss of his beloved wife Shannon and their daughter Kelly. I mean, the pain ran so deep that he even began seeing visions of them, reminders of what was taken away from him. And in a moment of unthinkable desperation, driven by pure revenge, Gibbs crossed the line and took the life of their killer, going against the law. But the heartache didn't stop there. In season 12, Gibbs faced yet another devastating loss, the death of his second wife out of 4, Diane Sterling. It was during a meeting with her that tragedy struck, as she was tragically shot in the head, snatched away from him in an instant. The impact of her untimely demise reached beyond Gibbs, affecting her other ex-husband Tobias Fornell and their daughter Emily. Their lives were shattered as well, and the tragic event ignited a fire within Gibbs and Fornell to seek justice for Diane's murder. Their quest became an all-consuming mission, pushing them on a frantic search for the mercenary named Sergei Mishnev, forever altering Fornell's life as he found himself thrust into the role of a single father. But wait, not all deaths happened on screen. Take Jackson Gibbs, for example, whose death we didn't get to witness, but left us equally devastated. Now in season 11, Gibbs got the heartbreaking news that his dad had passed away. So he headed back home to take care of his father's affairs, right? But guess what? Things got even crazier. It turns out that someone showed up at the house with the intention of taking Gibbs out and trying to kill him. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The episode took us on a trip down memory lane, showing flashbacks of Gibbs and his dad together. It connected their past to Gibbs' fight for survival in the present. And believe me when I say it was intense. But in the end, Gibbs made a tough decision. He handed over control of his dad's general store to a guy named Cal Frazier, someone who had worked with Jackson for a long time. It was like passing the torch, you know? Now, the reason for Jackson's death on the show was a bit different. The actor who played him, Ralph Waite, had actually passed away. And so, to honor him and his contribution to the show, the writers decided to incorporate the death of his character into the storyline. It was a heartfelt tribute for sure. Now, I know that did break a lot of hearts, but not as much as the death of Ziva, portrayed by Cote de Pablo. She held a special place in the hearts of die-hard fans of the show. She was a beloved character and a series regular from Season 3 all the way up to Season 11. However, her departure from the show in 2013 came as quite a shock. It wasn't until Season 13 that the devastating truth was revealed. Ziva had died off screen. The news hit fans like a ton of bricks. Learning that she had lost her life in a mortar attack on her house while residing in Israel was a heartbreaking blow. It was particularly difficult for Special Agent Anthony Tony DiNozzo, as he shared a romantic relationship with Ziva. The loss was so profound that Tony decided to leave NCIS behind, devoting himself to uncovering the truth about Ziva's death and focusing on raising their daughter, a revelation that came to him shortly after the tragic event. The death of Ziva had a major impact on Tony and her former colleagues, and the shockwave was felt by viewers as well. In an interview with Vanity Fair, DePablo disclosed that she initially departed NCIS due to concerns about her character's treatment on the show. Fortunately for fans of Ziva, she made a comeback in Season 16 and 17, indicating that something had changed DePablo's mind. Although it was later revealed that Ziva hadn't actually died. The initial revelation of her death in Season 13 was undoubtedly a tragedy for the devoted NCIS fan base, but the most heartbreaking death of all was that of Ned Dornigat. Season 12 of NCIS hit us with a real heartbreaker when we had to bid farewell to Ned Dornigat. The poor guy made the ultimate sacrifice, laying down his life to protect innocent civilians from a bomb threat. It happened while he was on a mission in Cairo, Egypt. Man, it really got to Gibbs, you know? Losing Dorney like that set him off and sent him on a bit of a downward spiral. It made him reflect on all the other NCI agents he'd lost throughout the years. Dorney wasn't always a big shot agent. He started as a probationary agent and worked his way up to the Cyber Operations Division. But fate dealt him a cruel hand, and his life was cut short while he was out there fighting the good fight. It's a real tragedy, no doubt about it. Gibbs, well, he's been through a lot. Losing Dorney hit him hard. It reminded him of all those other brave agents who gave their lives for the cause. It's safe to say that Dorney's sacrifice won't be forgotten. So, from Ned dying to protect innocent civilians from a bomb threat, to Paula Cassidy sacrificing herself for the sake of others, those were some of the most tragic deaths in NCIS.